And it's sort of like hide your life of what's nonsense. Say, only glad I didn't use the word bull. My name is Mike Sulsona. I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. I served in Vietnam from 1970 to 1971. I was in a total of 3 years in the Marine Corps before I hit the big one, which is I stepped on a command detonated landmine and lost my legs.
What motivated you to join the military?
I was in a lot of trouble, and back then in those days, if you were in trouble, you either went to jail or you went in the military. And so I took it in as an opportunity. Next thing I knew, a couple of months later, I was having my head shaved. I was in Paris, Ireland, and I realized that was the real deal. And when I went to Vietnam, when I saw my first enemy soldier being iced, I said, these people are not messing around, man. I was a grunt, an 0311 in the Marine Corps. That is the lowest form of life. To be a grunt, you was, how many fingers do I hold up? 2? All right, he's an 0311. I didn't drive a truck. I wasn't in special forces. I didn't jump out of a plane. I didn't even have a machine gun. I didn't even fire a 45, right? All I was given the basic M16, all the food and ammo I can carry, and go out there and do damage. But as the years go by, you start realizing that was a rarity. We were actually the special forces. We may have not had much brains, but we had, you had to have a set. Being told that you lost the war. I didn't lose the war. I fought against having my brothers and to have them killed on the field of battle. But who's going to do it? It isn't like I woke up one morning and said, take me out. I was there to keep a promise that I would serve. Who I was going to fight, I didn't even know these people. What country? I didn't even know what a Vietnam was. You're not there fighting for your country or for freedom. You're there to be with your brother, to take care of him. He's the one you take care of. And that's my father's Bible. That was the Bible that was given to him before he got it. He was a Higgins boat driver. That's all I have left from my father is that Bible, right? When I came back and they brought all this stuff that was in Vietnam and I was in Philadelphia, they had this box and you could tell it was ransacked. I went through my suits, my jewelry, everything was gone. The only thing was there was the Bible that the chaplain gave me. So I have that here. Look, too many weird things happened, so I'm here for a reason, I guess, Came home. I wasn't expecting a parade or any special favors. What I wanted was for life to continue as it was. It was a rough time when you came home, as opposed to now. Yeah, there's a story to tell. I went in, you see, if I used to wear artificial legs. I had like $7,000 of parking tickets. Where am I going to put the car? What do you want me to do with this car? If I could take a bus, I would. They wouldn't renew my registration or anything, and I was getting tickets. So I went into the motor vehicle, and the judge went to me, just because you're a Vietnam veteran, you think you can get away with murder. And I went, oh, really? I unbuckled my pants, took my artificial legs off, picked them up, put them on the judge's desk, and says, now, how am I going to get home now? It was a rough time when we first came home, but you were used to it. There wasn't a place, like a veteran help center or congressman or you had to take care of business, took care of yourself. Veterans have always been involved in my life, And as time went on, I found ways to help them. It was just not helping, but pass out information, to them that they followed, and they called me months down the road. And then I started to realize there was such a thing as a VSO, Veteran Service Officer. I didn't want my hands to be tied. I didn't want to play by the rules. My rules were what the paper asks for, and basically they want the truth, and that's my job. One night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I went into the city alone in my wheelchair, found this guy that was going to commit suicide. I got a call, got him into Bellevue, got him treated, got his paperwork done. I mean, the story goes on. And he wound up with an apartment, and he lived out by Yankee Stadium and returned to work at Local 3. And then there was another guy called me up, well, the medals, yada, yada, yada. I said, buddy, I'm only here to serve. I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to get in my car, my van. You give me the location, I'll meet you, and you can beat the living crap out of me. I'm only whatever you need, right? So he says, bring it on, man, right? So I forgot to tell him I was missing both legs, right? So I meet him by the spot, right? I hit the button, the ramp comes down, he's by the car, he's giving me the homeboy, what are you here for, And the ramp came out, I rolled out, and he saw me and he started crying. He started hugging me, and I says, come on, let me take you to dinner. And he said, did you really? I can't believe you're taking me to dinner after the way I told you. I said, listen, buddy, you deserve a beat. So you might as well eat up. You want chicken parm, veal parm? You like veal parm? Get him a veal parm. Being a service officer, I noticed something, that there's a mixture of a TBI, traumatic brain injury, and PTSD. And now today, it's also the burn pit syndrome, the lung. But back then, everybody got whacked a little in the head, right? Some of them was permanent damage. We didn't know that, right? And so you can teach a veteran all that he needs to know to get himself out of whatever depression or anger, but he couldn't get to do it because of his brain injury. It was like a circle they were in. They were suffering physically, but then also emotionally, the PTS, the scars in war. And PTSD doesn't mention war. PTSD could be, you down in a bar and see somebody get their ass kicked, and you'll remember that for life, And I think Staten Island is the prototype of how, of how veterans should be treated in the United States. We do nothing special. We do everything from the heart. We get it out here in Staten Island. These guys lay their lives down on the line. I think let's use the P word, all the politicians in Staten Island, I've noticed, are really aware of the veteran issues. It's funny, Mikey, the band, he just, I don't know how it happened. I never called him Mr. He never called me Sergeant. He's there. I don't know if it's so much as they understand, but they listen and they try to put the pieces together. That's how it starts. Because I had somebody, I understand what it is to be a veteran. Considering you never left Manhattan, for someone to say, just tell me, I want to understand. Helping a veteran or working with a veteran is only going back to making the United States stronger. There's a reason God had me lose both legs. I know it sounds a little too 1960, but there is a reason. I don't know what it was, but you know what? I push it around, and I act all the time like nothing's wrong. And you know what? I'm doing pretty good. I had a good life. I got in plenty of trouble, and now my life is, I don't touch money, I don't need money, and I take care of people. And I'm always being taken care of. So I don't know, I'm very fortunate or blessed or I don't know what, you know? I think the most important thing I learned in the military was to be a good person. And it's not easy. You can buy your way to it. You can tap dance to it. You can have all the pedals. But if you're not there for the guy, 100%, you gotta be the real deal. Don't let my age or my disability, if I don't hit you with my car today, I'll hit you with my car tomorrow. And if I got time, I'll back up over you again. Don't mess with people in need. Once you heal our veterans, our warriors, you heal the nation. It's not the other way around, you know? Like we're here to bring our warriors home, you know, and take. No, it's about us continuing our work. So you're here to make it a better world, you know?